Welcome back, class users. We've got some big news today, and that is we have just released the update to the conflict check mechanism, mainly due to user feedback. Thank you for that. So many of you who called for changes and to sort of simplify what was going on, and we realized there were some logic errors that were made in the first build. So let's go take a look and see what's been fixed. So I'm in the demo site. I'll click on conflict check as per usual. I'll begin by saying that search and sort still exists. The same premise as before, where we begin with putting in the kind of broad search terms and then using underneath the line for sorting in more detail. However, we've changed one of the most fundamental elements. All these fields are now no longer or statements, meaning you get first name or last name. They are all and. So you will only get John and Smith, meaning only John Smiths will turn up, not anyone called John and anyone called Smith. So the searches are going to be far more accurate from the start. And then once you've got your initial hits, you can still sort them below. So let's take a look at what's happening. If I put in a Smith, we can see some big changes immediately. The first thing I want to mention is the top line hit, that is Deborah Johnson. Of course, Deborah isn't a Smith at all, so you may be wondering why that would come up. And the answer is over on the right-hand column, additional names, where we can see she actually has a Deborah Smith. And so now you can immediately see that additional name straight away, and you don't have to muck around. So you're seeing why you're getting that hit. I'll explain a bit more about that a little bit later. So some of the most obvious things you can see are some pink stripes right across. Reasonably obvious what they are. And to get there, I'm going to show you another thing, which is this side scroll. I am side scrolling across, and you can see that these first four columns are set and all the other columns are actually sitting here in the side scroll, so we can get to them easily. The last column is flagged, and that's why it's pink, but we also changed it back to striping the entire row, so it's immediately obvious that they are flagged. Now you can still sort this flag column. You could put in yes or no in that and only get the results to that. So if we wanted to do that, I can show you. All right, and down the bottom we can clear, and this was not clear to a lot of people what this button was, so we made it bigger because a lot more of you be using it. It's actually clearing only the sort section. Similarly, if we have search clients or search services, this button in the corner will clear, but it's only clearing the bottom half. It won't clear, for example, the Smith out of here. So I'll show you that. That essentially will just take out the yes and bring us back to the original. I might do a new search. And I've just got Jet. So I've got Jethro, Jet, and Jet Brown. That's completely correct. Big change here. We no longer have results divided up into client and other parties or additional parties as it is. It wasn't quite working well. So now it's just all in one thing. So you can look for, say, other parties by filtering down other to other party. I'll clear that. I'll come back and show you that. So here we've got client. I might reverse that by changing type, and you'll see some others. Now we can see that at the top here is a worker, so that's new as well. We have fixes so people on the system without services attached absolutely now will correctly turn up in conflict check. This is just taking the worker list from user accounts and putting people in. So you'll find your workers are all successfully running there. We've got related parties, and we can put in other and just find our other parties. So that's how we'll do that now. Again, I'm clearing the sort, and I'll head back to Jet. Let's go for a little bit more detail. I'll put in Jet Smith, and we actually only get the hit because there's only one person called that. Now there's some interesting things going on here. We have fixed the additional name, so it's working as always intended. So you can see that there's been a couple of things. There's the other name, which in this case is a middle name. This is also the column where you can add a nickname as well, but also there's a whole additional name here. And if I scroll sideways, you can see additional phones and across to some additional addresses. So all that is now in there. Now, we've got a few new things to continue from. We can actually look at our services, and what this will do is open up the services attached to that person's name, and you can immediately see straight away what they are, and you can click through to those services directly if you want to. So before, incorrectly, people were listed multiple times for each service. Some centers have maybe 40, 50 advices for the one person, and that was unworkable. So it's now one person. If you want to see which services they are, then you'll see them here under the services click through. And that works for clients, but other parties or related parties, it's slightly different. What happens is the service link will take you actually through to where they are that additional party. So if I click that, in this case, it'll take us through to the actual service but the additional parties tab that will automatically go through, and you'll be able to see that they are an other party for this particular service. And if you want to look at the service, just click back to service details. Okay, so some of the new little catch me's, just wanted to show you some of the phone number issues. Now here, if we did a search of 87255, as this one says, without gaps, that is actually totally going to work. 8725 and 5 without a gap. I'll search that and that will actually come up correctly. Now the problem though is down here in the sort column, that does not actually work. If I put in the number without a gap, 87255, it actually will show nothing. Now the reason is the sort area, gaps or changes of formats won't work. Similarly, if I actually put in jet and a space here and go search, that won't show up as well. So you do need to be careful here not to put in extra spaces and things. For the search part, it doesn't matter. I can actually have jet and space and still search and it will still come up. And a similar issue to be aware of is in searches, client search services, you do need to be accurate and be careful that you don't have gaps or different formatting. So just be careful. If you're looking for something for say like a mobile number, you could just put in say the first 4 digits and you'll find that it'll filter down to the essential ones. So avoid putting in spaces or anything kind of formatting there. However, like I said, in conflict check, it will work using this search function. There are technical reasons for that, but I won't go into the details now. Needless to say, we're aware of the issue and we're going to try and fix it. Okay, I'm going to tell you one more thing for Mac users. There is a specific thing, particularly for Mac laptops, relating to side scrolling. If you don't have a Mac laptop, this doesn't apply, so consider this video finished. But if you do and you're using your scroll, you can hit the far left and far right and it'll try and change tabs. I'll just show you the quick fix that I had to do for my own computer. Hit the Apple System Preferences and click on the trackpad, and I removed swipe between pages. Just unclick that and you won't have that problem of accidentally heading to other tabs in your browser. All right, Christopher signing off.